I saw that you have 3 decades of successful polymath as a producer, a columnist, an entrepreneur, even building the world's first cardboard beach. Now, we need to know about that. What was the inspiration and what is this cardboard beach? When I read it, I'm like, I'm so curious.
Well, I will give you, I guess, a little bit of a longer bio. So I was born under a different name, Jordan Whalen. I had a career in media for about 12 years. I worked in television and radio, and I had a newspaper column. And I started a marketing firm called Gray Smoke Media, which is now the only all-in-one legal marketing firm in the world. And I was on this circuitous journey of trying to figure out why I was on Earth. I just kind of had this fire in me and this like burning desire to become something greater. And I tried all these different things because I just was trying to find it. And I was having a really good time, and life was great. And then about a year and a half ago, my dog passed away, and I went to Bali and a couple other places trying to find myself. And I met a woman in a tent, and her name was Dina. And she was a sort of spiritual healer, medium kind of woman. And I was completely unconscious at this point. I think when you are a gay man, you traditionally are quite averse to anything religious because you think you're being judged, or you think you won't be, or they're not going to approve of you. And so I had kind of tied spirituality with all religions, and I just sort of pulled back from it all. And I decided I didn't really believe in anything, or I didn't believe why I was on Earth, or I didn't believe what happens when you die. I just was completely shut off to all of it. And I went into the tent, and she looked at me, and the first thing that she said to me was, the reason that you are here is because you were a musician in your past life, but you took your own life because you couldn't handle it. And so you've reincarnated to make it right this time. And at this point, I don't believe in anything. So obviously you can imagine, I thought it was quite risible. And I sort of looked at her like, huh? And then opened my heart and opened my mind and spent about a week trying all kinds of modalities, healing, sound healing, talking to my 7-year-old self, breath work, and just let it happen, let it flow, the path. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the week, I came back to Canada, where I lived at the time, and I turned to my mom and I said, I think I'm going to go make music now. I think I'm going to go make an album. And my mom's thinking like, you've tried all these other things in life, but like you have no experience with music. You have no experience singing, writing, anything. And I just knew in my heart, my intuition, I had this burning desire to do this. And so I spent about 3 weeks making my first album. And there was a moment right before I started the album where I'd started to become more spiritually connected, and I was raising my consciousness, where I was sitting on my couch and trying to write my first song. And I realized at the time what I was doing is I was trying to write it for my limited human mind. And once I was able to get centered and align with my higher self, the song came out of me in maybe 10, 20 minutes, just the whole thing, all the words, just a complete out-of-body experience. And went into the recording studio and felt this feeling of nerves, but this feeling like I was home and that I belonged there, and that I almost recognized it and I knew what to do, and I was kind of producing, and something just came over me where I just became this person. And so that was last June. The first month I had like 400 listeners to my first 5 songs. And since then I have released 20 songs, and I think I'm at about 5 million streams right now for my music.